Hey everybody. Okay, we're in John chapter 18. And it says, When Jesus had spoken these things, he went forth with his disciples over the brook Kidron, where was a garden, into which he entered and his disciples. And Judas, which betrayed him, knew also the place, for Jesus oftentimes resorted therein with his disciples. Judas then, after he had received a band of men and officers of the high priest and of the Pharisees, came thither with lanterns and torches and weapons. Then Jesus, knowing all things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto them, Whom ye seek? They answered him, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus said unto them, I am he. Now Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them. As soon as he had said unto them, I am he, they went away backwards and fell to the ground. Then he asked them again, Whom seek ye? And they said, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus answered, I said unto you that I am he. Therefore, if you seek me, let these go their way. This was that the word might be fulfilled which he spake, Of them which thou givest me I have lost none. Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it, and smote the high priest's servant, and cut off his right ear. Now the servant's name was Malchus. Then said Jesus unto Peter, Put up thy sword into the sheath. Shall I not drink the cup which my Father has given me? Then the band of the captain and the officers of the Jews took Jesus and bound him, and led him away to Ananias first, for he was father-in-law to Caiaphas, which was the high priest that same year. And Caiaphas was he that gave counsel to the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. Now Simon Peter followed Jesus and another disciple, and that disciple was known of the high priest. Therefore he went with Jesus into the hall of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door without. Then went out the other disciples, which was known unto the high priest, and spake to her that kept the door, and brought in Peter. Then said the maid that kept the door unto Peter, Art not thou also one of the man's disciples? He said, I am not. And the servant and officers stood there, which had made a fire of coals, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves. And Peter also stood among them and warmed himself. The high priest then asked Jesus of his disciples and of his doctrine. Jesus answered them, I spake openly to the world. I even taught in the synagogues and in the temple, whither the Jews resort continually, and in secret I have said nothing. Why askest thou me? Ask them which heard me. And I said unto them, Behold, they know what I said. When he had spoken these things, one of the officers which stood by smote Jesus with his rod, saying, Answerest thou the high priest so? Jesus answered him, If I have evil spoken, bear witness of the evil. But if I have well spoken, why smitest thou me? Now Ananias had sent him bound into Caiaphas the high priest. And Simon Peter stood and warmed himself. And they said unto him, Art not thou also of his disciples? He denied it and said, I am not. For one of the servants of the high priest, his cousin, whose ear Peter smote off, said, Did not I see thee in the garden with him? Peter then denied again, and immediately the cock crowed. Then they led Jesus from Caiaphas into the common hall. Now it was morning, and they themselves were not in the common hall, lest they should be defiled, but that they might eat the Passover. Pilate then went out unto them, and said, What accusation bring ye against this man? And they answered and said unto him, If he were not an evildoer, we would not have delivered him unto thee. Then said Pilate unto them, Take ye him, and judge him after your own law. Then the Jews said unto him, It is not lawful for us to put any man to death. It was that the word of Jesus might be fulfilled which he spake, signifying what death he should die. So Pilate entered into the common hall again, and called Jesus, and said unto him, Art thou the King of the Jews? Jesus answered him, saying, Thou that of thyself, and did others tell it thee of me? Pilate answered, Am I a Jew? Thine own nation and the high priest have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done? Jesus answered, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would surely fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. Pilate then said unto him, Art thou a king then? Jesus answered, Thou sayest that I am a king. For this cause I am born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. Pilate said unto him, What is truth? And when he had said that, he went out again unto the Jews, and said unto them, I found him no cause at all. But you have a custom that I should deliver you one loose at the Passover. Will ye then that I loose unto you the King of the Jews? Then cried they all again, saying, No him, but Barabbas. Now this Barabbas was a murderer. Amen.